Hello SLAPAFISH community, welcome back to another World Tanks console video. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the Cobra, a tier 9 UK autoloading medium tank. And also this is the tank for the ultimate season pass for the 6,000 gold for the Awakened season. So let's go over what kind of equipment and crew skills I would recommend for this tank. So, my equipment I would recommend is vertical stabilizers, coded optics, enhanced target info, and the traction system. So, the commander skills I recommend is Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Situational Awareness, Sixth Sense, Comms Technician, Last Stand, and Camouflage Expertise. And I also think this is the only tank I have ever played Comms Technician on, because the signal range on this tank really does suck. And it bots it up from 500 and something, 570 to like 720. So that's really nice. You can actually see people across the map. It's always great to know where people are and friendlies are. Like, yeah. Anyway, so this tank is a 4-shot autoloader with a really good inner clip reload of 1.5 seconds. So you get 3 rounds on this tank. You get heat, hash, and high explosive. Now your heat are your standard rounds. I know, right? When is heat ever standard? So with your heat rounds, you have 268 millimeters of penetration. Your ammo speed is 793, and your damage per shot is 360. Lower than I actually thought it was. And your DPM is 1,584 with your heat. Now, with your hash, your penetration is 210, but 490 damage. So that's really going to tear people up if you can actually pin them. And you may notice I have 4 high explosive rounds. Let's talk about those. Now, those 4 high explosives has 120 millimeters of penetration, but does 515 damage. So yeah, for those lightly armored tanks, for the Waffen Traeger E100 4005s, that's why you had those 4 high explosives. They still have 120 millimeters of penetration, so they can go through a lot of tanks still. But the hash and your heat rounds are the ones that you really want to focus on this tank. So yeah. So let's go over what's good about this tank. So this tank has 130 millimeters of armor on the top of the turret, and 200 and I completely forgot how thick. 215. But you also have 10 degrees of gun depression, so that's really, really nice. So you can make your turret pretty impenetrable, except for high penetration TDs and stuff like that. Unless they shoot you in your lower part of your turret when you're using your 10 degrees of gun depression. If they have 215 to 230, they should be able to go through that lower part of your turret. So that's a weak point. And you have the cupola on the top right of your tank that is a magical 60 millimeters thick. It is a very small cupola, but yeah. Now the horsepower per ton is actually really, really good on this tank, and that's why I have traction system on it. The power to weight ratio is 29.15, top speed is 40 forward, 25 reverse, and I put traction system on it to go 44 forward speed and 28 reverse speed. So it's really nice. Gets into position very quickly. And now let's talk about this round. Also, you don't carry a lot of rounds. You carry 32. And your reload is quite long, but you can actually fire all 32 rounds very, very quickly. I've already went through all 12 of my standard heat rounds. Oh, all 16. And now I've loaded the hash clip so I can use hash. Now, hash is very fun to use, especially if you can penetrate the armor and stuff like that. Speaking of armor, your whole armor is not that good. It's decent. It's 130 millimeters on the upper plate, 125 on its lower plate, so it can definitely ricochet some shots, but don't really rely on your whole armor. So usually I'll hold down hold down, or just load that hash and just pin tanks for like 500 and something damage, which is always really nice to do. So right now I'm waiting for. So right now there is a Vanguard, there is a Cobra, there is a Lycan, and I don't remember what the fourth tank is remaining. And I'm waiting for the Vanguard to come over here where that bush is. As soon as I get spotted, I would fire in that position to try to kill the Vanguard, because I knew the Vanguard was going that location. Oh yeah, the fourth tank is the Compouncer 50T, which we hadn't actually seen yet. Now, I've hash loaded, and there's a 5100. Oh, apparently the Cobra was earlier. Never mind. Now it's that T1LT, Vanguard, and the Compouncer 50T. Now I realized something while I'm playing this match. Right here, I realize we're all on the side, and our base is completely open. If they start capping, and there's two of them, nobody will have the speed or V-range to get back. So let me just go back, sacrifice my 170 hit points, and hopefully I can get back in time before they start capping. Or if they do start capping, I could figure out where they are and shut them down. Hopefully I can put a shot in to give my team a little bit more time. We do have a heavy tank that is capping. I believe it has 3 hit points. It's the Projetta 66. I believe that is capping. So that's 2 hit points. So, going back to the base. So if they're going to cap the base, I'm going to surprise them. And what do you know? One jumps in the cap circle. I'm like, okay, which one it is? Which one is it? And it jumps out. I'm like, okay, I'm now spotted, so I'm more likely guessing it's the Vanguard. So I'm like, okay, Vanguard was really low on health, but it could definitely outspot me and hide. And that's going to be scary, because it's like, oh, he could put one shot into me and I'm dead, and I would never find him. And there's the Vanguard. Well, the ELC even 90. Now, still wondering where that Compouncer 50T is. We got 30 seconds until we actually cap out, and there's a full health Compouncer 50T that just got spotted, and I put a hash round into the gun that actually didn't do any damage except damage his gun. Now, these 3 remaining shots. I realize there's 10 seconds left, so I'm just going to go over, put one shot into the ELC, put one shot into the 2 shots in the Compouncer 50T, and I actually did a really good amount of damage to him. Almost 1,000 damage to Zamorak and a couple other things before this match actually ended. So, yeah. That's it for this video. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, also remember SLAPAFISH, because well, it's not. And peace out, see ya.